Hi, this is Cassandra McDonald, and I am speaking to Jasmine Conway's mother, Melissa. Jasmine Conway is a 15-year-old girl who has been missing since, I believe, sometime in July. And to no avail has the mom felt that she is getting any help with either officials and or community activists to help get her daughter's story out there and bring her back home. Mrs. Conway is again on the line, and I'm just going to ask her a few questions so that she can give us an idea about who Jasmine was, about her disappearance, and how we can assist her in bringing her daughter home. Mrs. Conway, are you on the line?
Yes.
Okay, hi, how are you, ma'am?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. And, I'm so sorry to hear what has happened to you, but you do have support from the community. And I just want you to give us a little background about Jasmine and what do you feel has happened and what it is that you would like us to help you with.
Jasmine, the most recent time, Jasmine has been missing from Kingston House in East Cleveland since Thursday. East has failed to look for her. I spoke with the mayor of East Cleveland. He was more concerned with other conversations he was having outside of his vehicle with people he hadn't seen. Three times I was interrupted while I was speaking to him while he was speaking to other people he hadn't seen on the streets. I've tried to call East Cleveland Police Department. Everybody wants to push everything off.
Okay.
Supposedly, the director from Carrington House is on vacation. So Dale Thomas is the acting director at this point, and he has no information for me. The only thing he can tell me is the last time Jasmine was seen was 9:30 p.m. Thursday evening, and 5 a.m. Friday morning, they realized she was gone.
Okay. Now to clarify this, because we have some stories about her missing in July, and then we have some stories by Channel 19 that she has been missing since, I believe, the 23rd or 27th. What is accurate?
She's been, let me look at the calendar. She was missing in July. She was found. At that time when she was found, she was completely impaired. Jasmine has an extensive history, mental health issues. When she was missing in July, she had to be transported to Fairview emergency room. This time, she has been missing since the 23rd
Okay.
of February.
Okay, and she's on medications. I believe I read somewhere that she was bipolar.
Correct. She was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, ADHD, PTSD, and manic depression when she was 7 years old.
Okay, and again, she was sent to Carrington, which is in East Cleveland. And was this an order of the court for her to go there?
Yes, it was. Jasmine was arrested on Sunday morning, approximately 2 a.m. Sunday morning. She had another one of her episodes that she has with her bipolar. She just has these manic episodes and acts out when she's not on her medication. And at the time, she injured me. And so when the police showed up, they arrested her for domestic violence. She was taken to the detention center. We had court that Tuesday morning. The public defender, as well as the prosecution, met with me. The public defender met with my ex-husband as well. They offered that Jasmine could come home on an ankle bracelet, only on an ankle bracelet because of her history of running away prior. Jasmine said no, she would not wear an ankle bracelet, so the court sent her to Carrington home with no ankle bracelet, no supervision, nothing.
Okay. So what I'm understanding is that Jasmine, again, is a 15-year-old teenager who does have violent tendencies, but it's only due to her mental health issues that she has and has medication for. Correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay. So now let's get to Carrington. And as far as when it was told to you, when you found out that Jasmine was missing, how did that information get to you, and what were you told?
Nobody even called me. They called my ex-husband at 5 o'clock in the morning. They called my ex-husband, and they simply said she went AWOL, and that was it. There was no details about anything. At that point, Kevin called me, and I started calling, and like I said, they told me the director was on vacation. There was nobody I could talk to. There was no director of security. There was no one who could give me any information. Finally, I said, look, I've already contacted the news, because by that time I had already contacted Channel 19, Channel 8, Channel 3, and Channel 5, and asked them to put Jasmine's information out there. When I finally told them that I had already contacted the news, that's when they put me in contact with Dale Thomas. They said he was the acting director because the director was on vacation. When I spoke with him, it was very vague. I asked him, can you give me a brief description of what the other juvenile looked like that Jasmine left with? No, I can't tell you that. Okay, fine. Can you tell me what she was wearing? Well, I wasn't here at the time, but she was probably wearing the state-issued clothes. Blue sweatshirt, blue sweatpants. Those were his exact words to me. I said, well, do you have cameras? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, can you tell me what you saw on the camera? Well, I don't know if the cameras were working at that time.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is this is supposed to be, Carrington is a facility that juveniles are often sent to for behavioral issues. And that facility also, from what I understand, is a secured staffing facility. Now, whether they're on lockdown or not is judging by what the owner stated, that they are not on lockdown. However, as you stated, the cameras may not have been working to show that she left. That's what they told you.
Correct.
Okay. Now, when you received the phone call from Carrington, at what point did you get any phone call from the East Cleveland Police Department? Because it is also my understanding that Carrington goes through several processes to report a missing child, and this was straight from the owner of Carrington. And that is, number one, to make a missing persons report. They also notify 696 Kids. They're supposed to contact the agency, the detention center, and even go as far as contacting the National Centers for Missing and Exploited Children. From there, the East Cleveland Department is supposed to call you. So what happened?
Carrington, first of all, Carrington never called me. They only called my ex-husband. Mm-hmm. East Cleveland Police Department never called me. East Cleveland Police Department never called my ex-husband. Nobody has called us. Mm-hmm. We have been the ones making the calls. And then every time I've called East Cleveland, it's like a burden to them. Every time I've called Carrington, it's a burden to them. Nobody has been in contact with us since the one phone call that they made at 5 o'clock in the morning telling my ex-husband, that Jasmine was AWOL. And that was all the information they gave. Okay. East Cleveland never contacted either of us.
Okay. Now, you know that there's been some issues in the news recently with community policing, especially in regards to mental health. Do you feel, with the way that you're being treated, that because there's a lack of understanding of how to deal with children and adults with mental health issues, do you feel like they're just throwing this to the wayside and really not supporting you as a parent when it comes to your child missing? And if they're either looking at Jasmine that because she's a troubled child and she walked off, that she doesn't deserve the same attention as other missing children?
I feel that I feel that everybody is looking at Jasmine. Jasmine is biracial.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so look at her. She looks like a young black lady. I feel that, number one, that stereotype has been put on her. I feel that she's put by the wayside because they look at her and say, you know, she's black, she's bad. I feel like the mental health issues, they disregard that. They do not understand the extent of what mental health issues mean. I feel like Jasmine I feel like the court set Jasmine up for failure by putting her in this facility. And the facility set her up for failure by not monitoring her, knowing her background, knowing her history. You know, it's documented. Jasmine has been admitted 3 times in a psychiatric hospital. 3 times. It's not something that, you know, this is documented history of her.
Mm-hmm. Now, there was something interesting that you brought up, that she either had an ankle bracelet on or should have had one on.
Correct. She previously had an ankle bracelet on at her father's house. She previously had an ankle bracelet on. So when we went to court on Tuesday, they said that Jasmine could come home, but the only way that she could come home was with an ankle bracelet on. And she was allowed to choose if she wanted to come to my house or to her father's house. Jasmine did not want an ankle bracelet, so the court chose to send her to Carrington with no ankle bracelet.
Mm-hmm. And there was already, as you stated, there was history of her running away. So you feel like the courts, as an added precaution, should have definitely given her an ankle bracelet.
Definitely. The courts knew her history. It came out in court. It was spoke about. Everybody knew everything. They already knew that she had a prior history to this. Jasmine, the last time that Jasmine ran away, Jasmine was raped. And there was a big investigation with Children's Services trying to get the perpetrator, you know, and unfortunately, because Jasmine put herself in that situation, the system failed again. They did not bring any justice to that. She's had a extensive history of making mistakes.
Okay. But at the end of the day, she's still a 15-year-old child with an issue. I get it.
Correct. And she's a 15-year-old child, but she has mental health disorders, and she is not like a 15-year-old child.
Understandable.
Jasmine's more like, you know, a 10, 11-year-old child. She doesn't know how to deal with certain situations.
Okay. Mrs. Conway, what is it that the community can help you with? What can we do to help you bring Jasmine back home?
First of all, you know, put her picture out there, put her face out there. Somebody has to know something. Second of all, you know, the police department needs to be more involved. You know, they have not taken a stance in this. They have not helped. The mayor of East Cleveland has not helped. And there is no way that a child, any child, whether they have a mental health disability or not, there is no way a child should be put in a facility and then lost.
I understand.
You know, and Jasmine's not the first one. You know, back in June, Lyric Walters and another 15-year-old child were missing from Carrington House. They still haven't been found. This isn't something brand new to Carrington House. Carrington House, somebody needs to look into them. Somebody needs to look into why the police department isn't doing more. When I spoke with Detective Stanford from East Cleveland Police Department, he said he has weekly calls about missing children from Carrington House. If you're having weekly calls, something needs to be done. Somebody needs to step in. Somebody needs to do something.
Okay. Well, I know this is a hard time for you and even harder to discuss because your daughter is missing. And I want you to know that you have not only have my support, but you do have the support of the community. And we are going to do everything that we possibly can to bring Jasmine home. Also, I know that there is going to be a protest planned for tomorrow between the hours of maybe 1 and 3 at the East Cleveland City Hall, their police station. And we are inviting other activists and other concerned citizens to join us at that time, again, at the East Cleveland City Hall Police Department between the hours of 1 and 3. We're going to be outside and we're going to try to get some answers as to what is going on with Jasmine Conway's investigation. Again, this is going to be very peaceful and we just want answers. So, Mrs. Conway, is there anything you want to leave as last words before we end this interview?
No, I ask for prayers. I ask for prayers, and I will be there tomorrow. And I just ask for everything to be peaceful, and I just ask for prayers. I just want to know my daughter is safe.
Okay, and thank you, and we will be sure to do just that. And for everyone who is listening, again, please join us tomorrow between the hours of 1 and 3 for a peaceful protest. We just want answers and to see where this investigation, is it moving, has it moved, and where we are in it. And thanks for listening to Mrs. Conway, Jasmine Conway's mother, who has been missing, 15-year-old child who has been missing from Carrington in East Cleveland. Thank you.